Hello, how's it going, everybody? Figured I'd get on here and make a video. Got to go to the first yard sales of the year today, which is always a highlight of my year when we get to start going to them. Love yard sales, of course, thrift stores. But I actually came into a bunch of good stuff. They have one where I live at. It's like a Cookeville's biggest yard sale, which is actually a good turnout on the vendors and stuff. And got a bunch of VHS, but we hit up one or two more little flea or yard sales after that. But yeah, I got a lot of VHS, a lot of movies, and CDs, books, a little bit of everything. But we'll start out with the books here, what I was able to get. I picked this one up for the kid. I didn't know if she had it or not, but that is Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I end up trading those in if she already has them. I can't keep up. She has so many of them. But the next one is Hagakure, or however you say it, the Book of the Samurai. It was like a quarter. I don't know. Yeah, this little philosophies and stuff. But the next one, I'm pretty sure all these books I got at the same place and they were a quarter, but that is just like the movie from the Jack Black film, Goosebumps, Night of the Living Monsters. I was looking at the screen there. I couldn't read it backwards. That's too much for my brain to handle right now. And this, when I read this one time when I was in alternative school, when I was in, I want to say grade school. It was either, I think about 8th grade, but I ended up reading this book. Yeah, I think I read this, and then another time I was in there, I read The Green Mile, but that is just an older release of Stephen King's The Stand. I like the artwork on this book. Yep, pretty sure I read that one. I know I read The Green Mile at in-school suspension or alternative school one time. Didn't have much else to do. All right, and up next, we stopped at another flea market, and this was one at that one where I picked up some CDs and stuff. He had half off on everything, but I had the first two here I just had to pick up because where I've started collecting CDs and stuff again, I just buy whatever. But that's a little John Denver for you. Next, to start this off, it's hard to beat, but we got a little John Denver, and to go with that, we got a little Kenny Rogers. You got to know when to hold them, and you got to know when to fold them, which is not on here. But yeah, little Kenny Rogers and never hurt anybody. Now this, I used to absolutely despise these guys. I play drums, so from a musical standpoint, I always liked their music. It was just, they kind of had to grow on me, but ended up picking this double disc setup from Rush. You know, of course, Neil Peart, however you want to say his name, is one of the greatest to ever live, one of the greatest to ever pick up a set of drumsticks. But yeah, picked that up. These guys are one of my favorite bands. They're like first 4 CDs that, in my opinion, they never had a bad song. I've got to see them live in concert, I think 4 or 5 times. But that is the best of Incubus. I've got all of them anyways, but I figured I would pick that one up. Yeah, and here's a little Strange Brew, the very best of Cream. Pick that one up. I bet I've owned this CD at least 15 different times throughout my life. These next 2 CDs, I bet I've owned that many times. But I picked up the greatest hits of The Doors. I've got a bunch from them already anyways. I've also got a bunch of their vinyl and stuff. And I have a bunch of his vinyl, which is Experience Hendrix. And then last on the CDs, I picked up a little Black Sabbath. I don't have much Black Sabbath, so I picked that up. All right, and then on to the VHS. Oh no! I've got too much stuff. I've got movies piled everywhere here, but Yeah, now I picked up most of the stuff I got today was a lot of VHS tapes, but they were like a quarter a piece. Like I bought a whole big stack of some pretty good stuff, and she just wanted like $10. I think that was where I got the books at. But anyways, we'll just get into them. The first one is The Outlaw Josie Wales. I actually just ended up. My birthday was March 6th, and I ordered that. Thankfully, they re-released it, but I think it's a UK version. It was the Man with No Name trilogy 4K set through Arrow Video. I ordered that, pre-ordered it for my birthday. Yeah, I've got so many Clint Eastwood films. I love his old westerns, but this one is Hang 'Em High. I've got them on DVD, Blu-ray. I'm soon to have them on 4K. I had to pick this one up. I love this movie. This came out, I want to say I was about 14-year-old when this came out. And of course I was a huge, but that is Mortal Kombat on VHS. Now a lot of this stuff too, I have been slacking for the last few months on the store. But a lot of this, the VHS and stuff is for the store. And a lot of this stuff is. You know, I've already got most of it in my collection, but of some format or another. But when you come across a good deal, it's hard to pass up. This one I wouldn't have picked up, but I just for some reason did not realize that the box was in this bad a condition. I remember renting this from the video store. That's Terminal Velocity, the great Charlie Sheen. Next one is a classic. I say classic very loosely. It's a good movie, but I'm a huge Van Damme fan. Hard Target. Any movie where a guy knocks out a rattlesnake by punching it in the head and then rigging it up where it will bite somebody, that's a movie that you must have in the collection, in my opinion. Yeah, pop, punch that snake in the noggin. But this next one, I picked it up. One of the best action films ever made, RoboCop. Love that one. Like I said, I think I've got that one. I don't think I have the 4K of that, but I've got the Arrow Blu-ray limited edition somewhere right in there. This next one, I didn't even remember picking this one up until I got home. But that is Rumble in the Bronx. Next up, I just picked it up cheap. The Mummy. Next one, I remember watching this. Well, I've not watched this since it first came out. I need to rewatch it sometime. I like to see how the effects hold up. But it's from Disney. But that is The Rocketeer. I remember playing the video game. I want to say it was for NES, maybe. Terrible video game. All right, this is the special uncut, unrated version of The Getaway. And to pick up some Dune. Now these, I usually pick these up just anytime. I don't know for sure which release this is, but it looks like it's one of the older ones. Not for sure when they re-released this one. Looks like 90 maybe. But that's Empire Strikes Back. Alright, up next we have a little Stallone cliffhanger. And all these VHS for the most part were in pretty good shape. Now this one I watched when it came out, but it's been a long time since I watched this one too. And that is Powder. Yep. I'm kind of drawing a blank here. This one, I always enjoyed this one. Just because it's Schwarzenegger and that is End of Days. I mean, that's your typical late 90s, early 2000s. Just typical action horror. Yeah, I've not watched that one in a long time. This one, I don't know. I mean, I know what it is, but don't know much about this release. I don't know if it's just stuff he did like done by himself. It's never before seen footage only available on this video. But that is what's the name of it? Don't Try This at Home, the Steve-O movie. This one I remember watching when it first came out, but couldn't tell you anything else about this one. That's a Joyride. Hell, I thought I'd picked up some good movies. But yeah, this one didn't know much about it. It had Michael Madsen in it. Trouble Bound. It's been a long time since I watched this one too, but From Hell. This one I used to watch a lot when I was younger, but I came from this really small place in a real small town in Tennessee, and we always used, when I was mid to late teens, early 20s, we all used to get together and shoot a lot of pool, do a little gambling and stuff. But I love this movie, The Color of Money. It's kind of a loose sequel to The Hustler that also starred Paul Newman, because Paul Newman plays the same character, Fast Eddie Felson, that he played in The Hustler. But I love this movie so much. Such a great movie. Now this is a classic, one of my favorite. It's so funny because that's Roadhouse. I got the Vinegar Syndrome 4K of this one, and it's so funny because like right after the sex scene in the barn in 4K, Swayze's little butt cheeks when he walks out, you can see the backside of his nutsack. And then when she walks out, you can pretty much see her, for lack of better terms, hoo-ha. 4K, man, gotta love it. Swayze butt cheeks in 4K is hard to beat. This one's still sealed. I just bought it because I got the 4K of this. I actually rewatched the 4K watched the 4K recently, rewatched the movie, but looks great in 4K, and that's classic Dirty Harry. That's one of those that I love that movie so much too. This one, I've got the Blu-ray, and I rewatched it not too long ago too, but I had to pick it up. The case is in a little rough shape, but that is Rutger Hauer in Split Second. I really enjoy that movie. All right, here's some more of this. I always loved all these too. Hold on, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. We'll go ahead on this one though. That's VHS of Final Destination 2. I've not watched the latest one, and I don't think I've seen the last couple of them, but yeah, I can't remember. Also picked up Tommyknockers, little Stephen King. Then we got some Deep Rising here. And this was in the pile of the ones I got for $10, but I remember, I'm pretty sure I watched this one in the theater when I was a kid. What year did it come out? Watch it. 89, so I'd have been about 8-year-old. Yeah, I probably actually watched this one in the theater. But that is Friday the 13th, Jason Takes Manhattan. And that was probably, with the exception of this other action figure I got, that was probably one of the best scores of the day. This one, I love this. It used to come on HBO when I was little a lot, and I used to love this movie, the little spider things, but that is Tom Selleck in Runaway. And you got Gene Simmons as the bad guy in this one. I thought he'd done a terrific job as the bad guy in this one. This is one, I only have this on VHS, but I would like to rewatch this sometime soon. Yeah. Now these, I'm a huge, always have been, always will be till I leave this world, huge fan of Ernest. And I actually came across a couple of his tapes today. I've got this on DVD, and when my kid was little, we used to watch this all the time. This is Ernest Greatest Hits Volume 2. I think we've got the first and second on DVD, but it's got like a lot of his old commercials and just stuff like that. And my kid loves Ernest, which I think that's so awesome because experiencing some technical difficulties there. I did not realize that my phone battery was almost dead, or I would have charged the daggum thing before I started the video. Oopsie. I'll hit that later in post. But yeah, I was talking about Ernest. I just think it's great how he impacted my generation of being kids, as positively impacted my generation's kids as much as he did, and is continuing to do so much later. Because I was a kid in the 80s, and I mean, my kid in the 2000 teens, whatever, is, still loves him. And I think that's great. But this is the last VHS pick that I picked up. And I love this movie so much. I bet I watched this 1,000 times when I was a kid. And that's the VHS of Ernest Goes to Camp. I'm selling most of my VHS and stuff, trying to, in the store, but there's very few that I'm going to keep in the collection, and that could possibly be one of them. But yeah, now, here's just a few little DVDs and stuff I picked up at the last yard sale we went to, just because they were like $1 a piece. But that is, I picked up the Blu-ray. I don't know much about this. I never watched this one. My Hero Academia, Season 4, Part 1, Blu-ray. Now this one, I've got this in the collection. And that's another Charlie Sheen movie, Beyond the Law, which is a good one. It's been a long time since I watched that one, too. But it always reminds me of like a Brian Bosworth movie, Stone Cold. I think those, with the biker gangs and stuff, they kind of came out around the same time. Such an amazing movie. I watched this on 4K not too long ago, and I swear it was like watching the movie for the first time in 4K. They've done a great job on the 4K release of it, but I remember when this first came out, I rented this like every weekend or two. Nah, they come out in 92. I don't know if I would have rented it that much. It may have been a couple years after it came out, when I was a little bit older. Because I'd have been 11 in 92, so I don't know if I'd have been watching that much when I was 11. Had to pick this up. It's 4 films collector set, horror. And that is Kraken, Howling 4, Night Shadow, and Raging Sharks. I remember watching at some point in my life, I've watched Howling 4. I want to say the third one was possibly the marsupials, where they were in Australia, which didn't really seem to make much sense at all. The best I can remember. It's been a long time since I watched that one. And I want to say part 4 took place in the castle, maybe, and 5 was the circus freaks. I think that's how it goes. I know I've watched all 5 of them, but it has been a very, very long time. These other ones, I don't know. I'm sure they're just like sci-fi channel type stuff. I've got a couple copies of this too, but it's got Treat Williams in it, so it's generic, but that's venomous. Now this one, it's been a long time since I watched this one, but I actually remember enjoying this one, and I'm pretty sure I've got it. If I don't own this one already, then I'm going to stick it in the collection. But that is Perkins 14, the After Dark Horror Fest. They had a lot of good movies released in that. Like, I want to say one, Grave Dancers. And then I got another one from the After Dark Horror Fest, also 8 Films to Die For, but that is Mulberry Street. I'm not 100% certain I've watched this one. I think I have. I think I've watched most of them, but I want to say they've done Frontiers, which is, the French film, which was a great movie. That was one of them when I first started getting into the more of the hardcore, like gore and just, films like that. That was one of the first ones I watched of the French New Wave horror stuff, like Martyrs, Inside, Frontiers. I bought those a long time ago. I watched them on Netflix and ended up, as soon as I watched them, I bought them. But yeah, this video is going to be long enough. Yeah, if you made it this far, I appreciate you watching. And have a good day. Bye-bye.